There's nothing quite as versatile as a really good hamburger bun because there's so many things that you can put on it. And I don't mind buying them from the store, but I do prefer making my own. Today on Jay's World Kitchen, I'm going to show you a simple recipe using just 7 ingredients that is really almost no effort to make a delicious batch of wonderfully tasty hamburger buns in no time flat. Those ingredients are 1 cup of warm water, 2 tablespoons of butter, a large egg, 3½ cups of flour, 1/4 cup of sugar, 1 1/4 teaspoons of salt, and a tablespoon of yeast. To start throwing this together, it really is simple. I'm just going to be using my mixer because it's a lot easier than doing it by hand, and certainly this is a very, very low effort recipe. Start off by throwing in my sugar, and I'm going to add my yeast onto the top of that. And now I'm going to add in my flour, my egg, my salt, my butter, and finally my 1 cup of warm water. And we're just going to mix that until the dough comes together and let it knead for a few minutes. Now, if you're in a super dry climate like I am, you might not find that a cup of water is enough. And if you're in a very, very humid environment, you may find that 3/4 of a cup is enough. I'm going to be adding in a little bit more water because my environment is so dry. And once it's well mixed, you're going to have a very soft, very smooth dough. And we're going to oil a bowl and put our very smooth dough into the center of it. Cover that up with some plastic wrap, or as a viewer suggested, using a shower cap from the dollar store, which I think is a great idea. Cover it with a tea towel and allow it to rise for about 1 to 2 hours until it's at least, if not more, doubled in size. So now our dough has been rising for a little over an hour, and it's about double the size that it originally was. And now what we're going to do is we're going to actually separate this out into individual buns. And we're just going to lightly flour our surface, and very gently we're going to turn out our dough onto that. Now, we're not going to knead this very much at all. I just basically want to control that dough so that I can divide it up into 8 equal portions, and that's going to become our 8 buns. Now, you can weigh these out if you want, but each one's going to be about 100 grams, or you can just simply do it by feel and by look. And really nothing fancy at all. You're just going to roll it into a ball, and we're going to put it onto a parchment-lined baking sheet, and repeat the same for each one of our 8 balls of dough. And once you've rolled them all out, we're going to cover them again and let them rise for another hour or so, just until they have sort of become nice and fluffy. And then we're going to decide if we're going to just do a butter wash or if we want seeds on them. And our buns have risen rather nicely over the last hour. And we're just going to remove the covering like that. Now you have 2 options. If you don't want to put sesame seeds or anything on top of them, you can simply brush them with about 3 tablespoons of melted butter, pop them into the oven. I am going to be using a egg wash with just basically 2 egg whites and a tablespoon of water, and I'm just going to brush the tops of each one. And I like sesame seeds, so that's what's going on mine. And then you're going to pop those into a 375-degree Fahrenheit oven for 15 to 18 minutes until they're golden brown on top. So my buns were in the oven for about 18 minutes, and the color is spectacular. The smell is incredible, and that fresh bread smell is just incredible. I don't have anything to put on this, and I don't think I'm going to need it. The bun is soft and just amazing, and I'm just breaking off a big chunk. Man, that's good. There's this delicate sweetness to it, but there's that rich buttery flavor. I have to tell you, you will never want to buy buns again once you try this recipe. These are absolutely incredible. You really do have to try this. The flavor is absolutely out of this world. This is something that you'll be using in every situation where you need a good hamburger bun. So if you try this recipe, I would love to hear from you how it turned out in the comment section below. Remember too, if you enjoyed this video, to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and remember to turn on notifications so that you know when my next video drops. Remember too that you can follow me on all my social media, and those links are below in my Linktree link. If you would like to see some more of my bread recipes, you follow this playlist and it'll take you to all of my bread recipes. But I highly recommend this recipe right here, which is for my really easy 5 minutes of effort bread. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, happy eating.